Coming up on Citrus TV News, sexual harassment charges against Matt Lauer, the Today Show host fired from NBC. We'll have full coverage of the fallout.
And the fire alarm saga continues as the fire department catches the culprits behind the false alarms. Citrus reporter David Edelstein returns one more time to the scene to investigate.
And just before the holiday season, how charitable are Americans? Who donates and what do they give? All that and more right now.
The ramifications are pretty.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Our top story tonight, Matt Lauer is out as the host of the Today Show after sexual assault allegations. Good evening, I'm Shama.
And I'm Colleen Callander. Lauer was fired this morning after an investigation of 3 accusations of inappropriate sexual behavior. And this just in, the New York Times released 2 new reports of women accusing Lauer of harassment.
Lauer had worked on the Today Show for 20 years. He is the next in a series of prominent celebrities accused of harassment after allegations against Harvey Weinstein came nearly 2 months ago. 2 political clubs on campus are hosting their first ever debate tonight. Citrus TV reporter Gabrielle Caracciolo has more on what students will be debating and why organizers are excited for the event.
School of Citizenship and Public Affairs, where the SU College Republicans and College Democrats are hosting their first ever debate tonight at 7. The debate will be moderated by SU Political Science Professor Grant Reher. And the topics being discussed are going to be immigration, healthcare, gun control, and women's issues. Each club will have 3 people debating each of those 4 topics. And I spoke with co-chair of College Republicans, Emily Green, who says the executive boards for both the College Republicans and College Democrats have been working together for the past semester to plan this event, and that they're excited for the opportunity to foster a dialogue between the clubs and among students on campus. Gabrielle Caracciolo, Citrus TV News.
One major issue that may be discussed is tax reform, and with the new legislation making its way through Congress, Chancellor Syverud is voicing his concerns. In an email to Congressman John Katko, the Chancellor talked about the elimination of essential support for students. He said these provisions will harm students, the faculty, and the athletic department of the university. Syverud is asking Katko to consider the big consequences this bill will have on people pursuing a higher education.
Syracuse Mayor Stephanie Miner is considering a run for Congress next year to challenge Representative John Katko. Miner previously ruled out the possibility of a congressional run in favor of gubernatorial run, but changed her mind when Katko voted for the recent Republican tax overhaul. Miner believes that the new tax bill will hurt Central New York and halt Syracuse's economic development. Miner is among a number of Democrats who have reassessed their political plans in light of the Republican tax overhaul. Protests on the stairs of Hendricks Chapel today. Graduate students and teaching assistants gathered to protest the new GOP tax bill. The groups are calling for higher wages protection from the proposed tax bill. Some TAs say they are planning to unionize. Citrus TV spoke with one of the organizers of the event.
So we're attempting to form a union here at Syracuse University because we are workers, we are employees of the university, and so we are entitled to bargain collectively with the university for better wages and better benefits.
And The Wizard of Oz is leaving Kansas and coming to Syracuse. The play will be opening at the Syracuse stage tonight. The university will be teaming up with the New York's Two-Ring Circus to produce an acrobatic version of the famous movie. The play will run from tonight until January 7th. A graduate student is the university's first Mitchell Scholar. Cameron McPherson is a grad student in Pan-African Studies studying in Ireland. McPherson is one of only 12 U.S. students out of more than 300 applicants to receive the award this year. This award will go towards his studies in theology at Trinity College in Dublin.
2 Syracuse University students are finding out that setting off a fire alarm is no joke. Citrus TV reporter David Edelstein is live in studio with the results of an investigation into intentional fire alarms.
The chief of DPS and Haven Hall residence director say that 2 students intentionally set off at least 1 alarm in Haven Hall this semester. Now, those students are facing penalties. Haven Hall's residence director sent out an email last Tuesday saying that more than 12 fire alarms have been intentionally set off this semester. That's more than half of them in the building. Now the RD and DPS say 2 students who set off at least 1 alarm on purpose have been caught.
The ramifications are pretty serious, you know, if you think about it. You know, you come here to go to school, and the last thing you expect is to not be suspended or expelled or something along those lines because of a prank.
The RD says that fire alarms disturb more than 400 residents that live in Haven Hall. She says intentionally setting off an alarm is costly, wasteful, and illegal. The RD says the students caught for purposefully setting off an alarm will face penalties ranging from indefinite suspension to expulsion from the university, along with potential criminal and/or civil charges. DPS Chief Maldonado says that students who set off an alarm intentionally often do not evacuate when the alarm goes off. He says these two students did not leave the building, and after interviews with them and others from Haven Hall, investigators concluded that the two intentionally set off at least one alarm. He says he cannot reveal the identities of the students nor how they set off the alarm due to privacy issues.
Some students say it's stressful to have to walk down these stairs every single time there's a fire alarm, but they say they're glad they're over for now.
Every night I'd go to sleep and it would be unpredictable whether an alarm would go off or why it would go off or if it would go off multiple times in the night. I am very relieved and my anxiety has decreased a lot and I can know that things are being taken care of now.
It is not confirmed that these two students set off all of the intentional alarms in Haven Hall. Others may be responsible as well. Officials and students both say they hope the identification and penalization of these two students will prevent others from purposefully setting off more alarms. David Edelstein, Citrus TV News.
So I heard that it actually snowed in Hawaii today.
That's crazy. If it snowed there, I can't imagine what's coming our way. What can we expect here, Nicole?
Thanks, Elijah and Colleen. Well, no snow or rain tonight, but it will be a very windy night, just like we saw today. It's currently about 41 degrees, but because of that wind, it's been feeling a lot chillier. And tonight we can expect the lows to be down closer to 27. Thank goodness there is no rain because it could turn into snow. But I'll let you know when we should expect snow and what the temperatures will be like tomorrow in my full weather forecast.
Coming up, the president is in hot water for new tweets. What did he tweet this time?
And North Korea's newest missile test is its scariest one yet. Could it reach the eastern U.S.? Find out when we come back.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Get some drinks!
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Got a quarter?
Superheroes? Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Whoa!
Gear up, guys.
You're watching Citrus TV News with Colleen Callander, Elijah Shama, and Nicole Weaving with weather. Citrus TV News continues now.
This just in, President Trump may be planning a huge move in Israel. An Israeli TV report says Trump is planning to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. That comes a day after Vice President Pence talked about the decision.
A move to Jerusalem would likely spark tensions in the Middle East as Palestinians claim that part of the city belongs to them. The report said that Trump could announce this as early as Sunday. We'll have more on this story as it becomes available.
Lauer is not the only media star accused today. Radio host Garrison Keillor was fired from Minnesota Public Radio for, quote, inappropriate behavior.
The station said they have investigated the accusation since October and that it was the right thing to do. Specific allegations have not been released yet. And from new accusations to an old one, the USA Gymnastics team doctor has pled guilty to criminal sexual misconduct.
Larry Nassar, who trained elite gymnasts, including Olympians, at an Indianapolis-based gym, is the subject of numerous lawsuits by more than 100 of his alleged victims, the youngest less than 13 years old.
Nassar also faces an additional charge of possession of child pornography. The doctor could face upwards of 25 years in prison.
A man suspected of killing 4 people in Florida has been arrested. The killings, which began in October, occurred in Seminole Heights in Tampa. All 4 victims were shot while either boarding or leaving the bus.
Florida police say the victims were chosen at random. The suspect was taken into questioning after being seen with a gun in a local McDonald's. He denies all 4 charges of murder. President Trump's tweets are once again causing him trouble. This morning, the president retweeted 3 videos from far-right UK group Britain First.
The videos show people they claim are Muslims assaulting people. The tweets were met with outrage in the UK as Britain First has a history of extremism.
The killer of British MP Joe Cox shouted "Britain First" as he murdered her. The Prime Minister Theresa May criticized the president for supporting extremists. Roy Moore's campaign staffers are being accused of manhandling 2 Fox News photojournalists at his Monday night rally. Fox says Moore's staffers pushed the photographers away and grabbed their cameras.
Moore's campaign chairman is saying the campaign does not condone any violence, but videos of the altercation are supporting the network's allegations. Journalists are scrambling at Moore's few public events after his recent sexual assault allegations. And a Bosnian war criminal killed himself in court during his sentencing. This morning in The Hague, Project was in court appealing his 20-year sentence when he raised a glass of poison to his lips.
Croatian media reported him dead within hours of the incident. Praljak was sentenced to prison in 2013 for crimes against humanity during the Bosnian War. North Korea's new missile reportedly has the ability to reach the U.S. Capitol. Yesterday's missile test was North Korea's most successful launch yet. It has a higher reach and longer flight time than all of the country's previous attempts.
President Trump stated that the U.S. and its allies will, quote, take care of it. Trump later emphasized the importance of military and government spending in a tweet. Experts say that while North Korea has improved its nuclear weapons program, it is still far from completion.
TV Weather Center. This is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
So as I mentioned, it's about 41 degrees outside, but let's take a look at the rest of upstate New York. As we get further away from the lake, it's currently warmer as it's 49 in Elmira and 46 in Binghamton, 41 in Cortland and 43 in Rome. Now, when it comes to tomorrow, you're going to see some quite varying weather. When you wake up in the morning, it'll be about 34 degrees, so on the cooler side than we've seen recently, but it'll be sunny. And as the day progresses, clouds are going to move into the sky, and then you can even expect some rain in the afternoon. Temperatures should get up to about a high of 48, so about 45 around noon, and get down to about 44 by 6 p.m. Now, when it comes to snow, everyone's favorite question here in Syracuse, there's a low risk of snow for this week. As I mentioned, we'll see some rain tomorrow and some on Monday as well, but because temperatures are going to be in the mid to high 40s, you shouldn't have to worry about seeing any snow this week. And as we take a look at our 5-day forecast, so I mentioned the changing weather that we'll be seeing tomorrow with a high of 48 and a low of 36. On Friday, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 41. And then those clouds are going to stick around into Saturday with a high of 45. Temperatures will stay the same as a high for Sunday, partly cloudy as well. And then, as I mentioned, some rain is going to return on Monday, PM showers that may even, as it looks like, last into Tuesday.
Thanks, Nicole. So when's the next time we'll see lake effect snow?
So we shouldn't be seeing any lake effect snow till about the middle of December. I would say right around when finals week rolls around here for students. It's been a mild December to start, but they do expect the winter temperatures and the snow to pick up.
So it's been pretty nice Syracuse-wise. When can we expect those temperatures to start dipping back to what we're used to at this time of the year?
So right when we expect the snow, that's when we should also expect those cooler temperatures. So right now it's been in the mid to high 40s. I think that's a pretty decent temperature right now for the beginnings of December, especially here in Syracuse. And then as it goes into next week, same temperature should be expected. But then finals week, that's when we're going to get into those really low 30s and even high 20s.
Wow. Thank you, Nicole. After the break, will you see your holiday gifts falling from the sky? FedEx is trying to make that happen.
And are you in the spirit of giving? Find out how many Americans are giving to charity when we return.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
The price of Bitcoin has dramatically increased over the last 24 hours. Around 9 last night, the digital currency's price passed $10,000 for the first time in its history. By 9 this morning, the currency had eclipsed $11,000. This shocks many consumers, especially because the currency broke $1,000 at the start of this year. Look up in the sky, it's a bird. No, it's your FedEx package. FedEx has agreed to buy 50 small delivery planes with the option to buy 50 more. The planes are much smaller, giving them the ability to land at closer to the package's arrival destination. The move cuts down ground transportation time for packages and gives FedEx one of the largest aircraft fleets in the world.
If you have a flight scheduled for this holiday season, you could be stranded at the airport. American Airlines is scrambling to fill pilot positions for 15,000 flights over the holidays.
The nation's largest airline says a computer glitch allowed all of their pilots to take a vacation over Christmas week. This could bring issues for the hundreds of thousands traveling to visit friends and family during the holiday season.
The U.S. economy grew by 3.3% from July to September, exceeding the 3% expectations of the Commerce Department. This marks the fastest quarterly expansion in the last 3 years, and it also marks the first time since 2014 that the economy has grown at a rate above 3% for 2 consecutive quarters. The Commerce Department attributes increasing business investment as the cause for the expansion. This year's Cyber Monday has become the largest shopping day in U.S. history. Online transactions reached a record-breaking $6.5 billion in sales, an almost 17% increase from 2016. Amazon is the big winner in this year's online retail sales. They have sold millions of Alexa-enabled devices as the company is continuing to grow its network of Prime subscribers. Amazon is also expected to capture up to 50% of total online commerce holiday sales.
It's the season of giving, and this year, people are giving more.
96% of Americans have given to charity this year. 40% donate money, 35% give goods to charities and food banks. Others choose to donate their time. 19% of contributors volunteer.
The studies show that your age can predict what you will give. Millennials contribute more goods and more of their time, but baby boomers tend to give more money and volunteer less.
All right, coming up in sports, the college football playoff rankings were just released, so we'll take a look at that and I'll preview some Big Apple basketball. That and more after the break.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Hi, I'm Chris Benson. Syracuse basketball has fought its way to an undefeated record 6 games into the season, and Frank Howard is a big reason why. The junior point guard's improvement from last year is obvious. As a sophomore, Howard averaged less than 5 points per game. This year, he's averaging 15 a contest. In Syracuse's 2-point win over Maryland, Howard poured in 15 points, 10 assists, and 7 steals. It seems like Howard's found a place on this year's team as a leader, and he believes SU needs to play with an aggressive mentality against number 2 Kansas on Saturday.
This is preparing our team for the whole year. You know what I mean? These dog fights, we're going to be in them. You know, we know what type of conference we're in. So every night, you know, it's going to be a dog fight. And, you know, I'm just happy the way these young guys responded tonight. You know, our team, where we fought, executed, and, you know, got loose balls and stuff of that nature. So, you know, this is preparing us for the next game, the game after that. You know, we want to keep building off it.
Citrus TV will have you covered after the Kansas game. Orange Press Pass will break down and analyze every critical facet of the matchup. Tip-offs at 5:30 from Miami on Saturday. It's Orange Press Pass, and it's right here on OTN. In the pros, 2 former Syracuse football players are participating in the NFL's My Cleats, My Cause charity weekend. In the NFL, wardrobe violations are strictly enforced by fines, but this week, players are allowed to sport customized cleats to raise awareness for the causes and the charities of their choice. Denver's Riley Dixon and Miami's Shamarco Thomas will both wear cleats to support the Syracuse chapter of Uplifting Athletes, an organization that provides support to people with rare diseases. Elsewhere, the college football playoff rankings were announced last night. The selection committee has Clemson at 1, 2 loss Auburn at number 2, Oklahoma at 3, and undefeated Wisconsin at 4 to round out the playoff. No Alabama, no Georgia, and no Miami, but those teams really have a chance to streak into the top 4 spots this weekend, depending on how a few of those conference championships play out. Perhaps the most controversial ranking is Ohio State's slot at number 8. But a win against Wisconsin this weekend could vault the Buckeyes right back into the college playoff conversation. And in the NBA, the Nets have a great chance this evening to bounce back from their Monday loss to Houston. Still no D'Angelo Russell for Brooklyn. He's been absent from the last 7 games after undergoing arthroscopic knee surgery. Russell's absence, however, may not be missed very much tonight. The Mavs have the worst record in the Western Conference, and their defense statistically falls in the bottom 5 of the association. Tip-off from Dallas tonight is set for 8:30. The Knicks are back in action as well. New York hopes to end its 3-game losing skid tonight against Miami. One common denominator in the last 3 games, no Enes Kanter for the Knicks, but the big power forward will return to the lineup now that his lower back issues have subsided a bit. And some more good news for the Knicks. Miami star center Hassan Whiteside will not play due to some soreness in his left knee. Expect Kristaps Porzingis to have a strong performance without Whiteside there to guard him. The Latvian is third in the league in scoring. He averages 27 a game. And a really fun story out of New York with Kristaps Porzingis. They went back and took a look at the election results from the 2017 mayoral campaign. Kristaps actually received 11 votes in the mayoral campaign. The New York Yankees' Aaron Judge, Rookie of the Year, he got 10 votes. We've seen a couple, I can think of one in particular, a couple of elected officers that have come and got their positions despite having an unconventional background, but you know, these guys are still young. I think it's a little too early to start the Porzingis Judge 2020 campaign as of yet. Still fun.
We'll see. I'll quote you on that in 10 years.
Yeah.
So I saw a story about LeBron James last night. What happened?
So yeah, third quarter, LeBron James goes up for a shot. He thought he got fouled, but no whistle was blown. He went and lamented the ref about it, and the referee tossed him out of the game. So for the first time in 1,000+ games in his career, LeBron James got ejected. What does the king do when he is encountered in a situation that he's never had before? Some fans saw that he went on Instagram and Twitter, was liking social media stuff. So, I mean, it's a new situation for him, but I give credit to the fans for checking out what he was doing.
Yeah. And coming back to campus, Syracuse men's and women's basketball teams are undefeated. Who do you think is going to lose first?
Well, the Syracuse women's team plays Northwestern this weekend. Syracuse men's team plays against number 2 Kansas. I'd bet that the Syracuse women's team wins this weekend. I think that Syracuse, the men's team, is going to fall to Kansas. Devontae Graham is an excellent player for Kansas. He's the point guard. It's very rare that you see a player that's that talented at the point guard position who doesn't go to the pro after a few years. He's a senior. He just dropped 35 points on Toledo. So expect him. It's going to be really interesting to see how Syracuse handles him this weekend. We should expect him to have a big game, but Kansas is so talented. It's going to be interesting for sure.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right back.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
So as we take a look back at our 5-day forecast for tomorrow, as I mentioned, it's going to be that changing weather, starting out sunny, getting cloudier throughout the day, and then even some showers moving in right around 4 p.m. It'll be about a high of 48 degrees, so won't probably need your heaviest winter coat, but definitely be ready with a sweater and possibly an extra jacket. On Friday, it'll be partly cloudy, high of 41, and then 45, and getting only warmer slightly throughout the rest of the weekend. Cloudy skies and partly cloudy on Sunday, and then even some rain moving in on Monday.
Thanks, Nicole. Good news for food and tech fanatics. Google will fix their cheeseburger emoji, moving the cheese slice to its rightful place on the top of the patty. You can see that it used to be at the bottom of the patty.
The fix comes after the issue was pointed out on Twitter earlier this month.
I, for one, am. And that's all we have today. Thank you. Have a great night, Syracuse.